And many store shelves empty. The state already hit hard by nasty winter weather and what is headed our way in the forecast. Good evening. Thanks for being with us tonight at 10. Big changes we've been talking about coming in that weather soon.
For sure. And here's some advice. Get that last minute shopping running around done, all whatever you got to do tomorrow. Right, Jim?
Just going to say
what about
tomorrow.
Christmas?
Christmas actually nice day overall.
Good.
But the thing is, the snow that comes between now and then, it's sticking around. So where it becomes hard packed and turns to pretty much ice, it's not going to go anywhere because there's a certain stage where road salt is effective, basically down to -6, but you have to increase the amount exponentially once you're below 20 degrees, so it's not cost effective, so road crews don't use it then.
We'll be wishing for these temperatures tonight.
Exactly, and we're going to get well below 20 degrees. Flooring America camera takes us into downtown Decatur where it is bone dry. Feels like temperatures teens and 20s for the time being, but hey, over the next 48 hours that storm is coming on in during the wee hours of Thursday morning, but more so during the latter stages of the morning on into the afternoon and evening. Then it hightails it out of here. Accumulations with the wind and the cold depth all in a few minutes from now, Dawn.
Domestic violence is on the rise this holiday season, and experts are warning the uptick comes from increased stress.
Oh, there are important steps you can take if you believe someone is encountering domestic abuse. WAD's Carly Bronkema talk with experts now about what you need to know tonight.
Holiday dinners and Christmas parties. These events can be a chance to recognize signs of domestic violence.
Things can escalate on holidays, and it could be a whole lot of reasons why that might be. They both might be home a lot more. So you might have that issue that both the offender and the victim are there nonstop.
The first step you can take to help someone is to listen to what they have to say.
My best advice is to always take your cues from the person who you think is experiencing the harm, because you have to remember that they're the best expert in their lives. They know their situation better than you do.
Rachel Hiker with Hope of East Central Illinois says if someone feels safe enough to talk to you, it's important to believe what they say.
One of the best things you can do is believe people when they tell you what's happening. If you and stay curious about your loved ones, ask them questions, and really listen when they answer those questions and believe their experience that they're telling you that they're having.
Domestic violence is not an easy topic of conversation, but the goal is to help survivors and not make the problem worse.
To be judgmental, to point a finger, to make them feel like, they made a major mistake instead of being there for them in a different manner.
Shanae Beasley with Crosspoint Human Services says the worst thing you can do is ignore domestic violence.
A lot of people want to do that. It's not my business. Well, it is your business. It's your business because somebody may lose their life. Some child may not have a mother.
In Decatur, Carly Bronkema, WAND News.
So if you or someone you know is experiencing domestic violence or abuse, help's available. The Illinois Domestic Violence Hotline number, 877-863-6338. There are also 24/7 crisis shelters across the area that you can turn to during the holidays.
Police in Champaign are searching for a bank robber. Authorities were called to the First Financial Bank yesterday morning. A robber displayed a note claiming he had a handgun and demanded money. The suspect then took off with an undisclosed amount of money. Anyone with information or even surveillance video of the events, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers.
Wow, 3 locomotives, 10 boxcars derailed when a train hit a truck. This is Collegedale, Tennessee, just outside Chattanooga. 2 workers on that train suffered minor injuries. Large amounts of diesel fuel spilled in the area. A spokesman for the local EMS says the train struck a truck that was carrying a 60-foot concrete barrier across those tracks. A doorbell camera in California caught a man dressed as a look at this. He's dressed as a delivery driver, just stealing the packages from the front porch. It's happened at several homes across San Diego County. Residents say they've seen a dark-colored minivan following the delivery truck. The thief always shows up just minutes after the packages are dropped off.
Wow. Well, congressional leaders today unveiled a more than $1.7 trillion spending bill to avoid a government shutdown. The bill includes another large round of aid for Ukraine, a nearly 10% boost in defense spending, and roughly $40 billion to assist communities across the country that are recovering from drought, hurricanes, or other natural disasters. Inflation and increasing prices for many products dominated the headlines for much of the year. While gas prices have started to fall, food prices and interest rates continue to rise. The cost of homes is also steadily increasing. Illinois Congressman Rodney Davis tells WAND News, for inflation rates to come down, the federal government needs to cut spending.
Clearly it's not, or Congresses long before me would have done it, and we would have done it on a regular basis when I was there. Look, we were able to hold the line on discretionary spending during my 10 years in Congress, a number of years that I served. But in the end, when you saw the trillions of dollars invested to really keep our economy on track during COVID.
Congressman Davis says the government has to spend trillions of dollars because of the COVID pandemic, but pointed the finger at Democrats for continuing to spend money once the pandemic was over.
The Ukrainian president expected to visit the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., as early as tomorrow, expected to address Congress, also make a stop at the White House. First known time he's left Ukraine since the beginning of the war. Sources familiar with the plan say the trip depends on the ability to keep him safe and secure, of course. Still to come, damage and now reported deaths after the earth shakes in part of California. The latest on its magnitude and towns hardest hit. Plus a decision today on the fate of former President Trump's tax returns, the vote, and what it means. When we come back in just 90 seconds.
A New York City bishop with a criminal record and questions about his lavish lifestyle now facing federal fraud and extortion charges. Lamore Whitehead gained attention earlier this year after being robbed of nearly $1 million worth of jewelry while on a live stream. Well, on Monday, the bling bishop was arrested, accused of defrauding a parishioner out of $90,000 in retirement savings. Disgrace a House committee has voted to make a report on former President Trump's taxes public. The House Ways and Means Committee vote makes 6 years of his tax returns public record. It also ends years of speculation about what it might reveal about his public business dealings. Parts of the taxes will still be redacted, including personal information and Trump's social security number.
Still to come, deadly earthquake hits parts of California early this morning. We're going to take a look at the damage that's been left. Plus,
Our Flooring America 12cast says we are below freezing to around the midday hours tomorrow, but it's another day that's above freezing. Not going to last, though. Stick around for an update on that snow accumulation map.
well, bracing for aftershocks. At least 2 people now reported dead after a 6.4 magnitude earthquake in Northern California early this morning. Its epicenter, 210 miles north of San Francisco. The shaking left some towns in shambles and thousands without power. Officials still assessing the damage, but as people left their homes, some of the impacts were evident. Roads buckled. Look at all that. Just a mess. 11 people were reported injured.
We know that people have delayed reporting injuries due to the not too serious nature of the injuries, but we know that people have been injured from this. We also had 2 deaths associated from this earthquake. It was a 72-year-old and an 83-year-old individual who did not see or did not get timely medical care because their medical emergency happened at the moment of the earthquake.
This quake comes exactly a year to the day a 6.2 earthquake hit the same region of California. Meanwhile, a blizzard in North Dakota shut down the interstate, delayed shipments to many stores. Many people who needed groceries found, well, rows of empty shelves.
Yeah, Daniel Burbank found out how customers and the businesses are dealing with it now.
These viewer photos show empty shelves at North Walmart. I visited the store and saw only a few cuts of meat, very few fruits and vegetables, and no salad or lunch meat packages. Walmart corporate told me a perfect storm led to empty shelves in addition to holiday shopping. They did not know if the trucks were stuck during the blizzard. The corporate spokesperson told me trucks are arriving at the Mandan location to begin restocking.
At the North Cashwise store, things much different on the product shelves.
Some shoppers say that's one of the reasons they traveled to a different store.
That's unbelievable, but I understand because the trucks didn't get through, so it's probably going to take a week or so to get stocked up again.
Gillenberg says she's never seen the stores this low before and says it makes people appreciate what they have. The North Cashwise manager told us they've unloaded 7 trucks in 3 days. Normally, they receive 1 per day.
I feel bad because everybody wants great conditions, but this event definitely was a challenge for everybody.
A Walmart corporate spokesperson added they appreciate everyone's patience as associates restock shelves.
Well, other stores across North Dakota are saying they're having trouble keeping lunch meat, fruit, and vegetables in stock. And with temperatures taking a dive here, it's important to keep your pipes from freezing if you plan to leave for the holidays. Roto-Rooter recommends you disconnect outside water hoses and make repairs if the faucet is leaking. Unhook your washing machine if it's kept in an unheated area, and then let warm water trickle through a line that runs near the outside of your home. That's if possible. And if your pipes have already frozen, shut off the main water valve to prevent them from bursting. Call a plumber.
Well, the Champaign County Health District is offering a Corsi Rosenthal box filter for your home for free. I mean, you do it yourself. It's an air filter that clears air out of virus particles. Uses just a box fan in the filters with a certain MERV rating. CUPHD offering these filters to low-income, multi-generational households within Champaign County, and they can even deliver one to your home.
Not only COVID-19, but dust and other things. And this actually does about 500 square feet, the air filter. So I mean, you could put it in your living room, and it could, depending on the size of the living room, it could probably do the whole thing, filter out the air.
So families can visit CUPHD or call to see if you're eligible. Well, conditions will make for dangerous driving. AAA says make sure your windshield wiper fluid is also de-icer, maintain proper tire pressure, and keep a blanket phone and charger in your vehicle in case you get stranded. Colder weather on the way. We asked, how do you feel about the upcoming forecast? So far, most of you say, don't like it, hate it. In fact, a few say you love it. Well, what are we looking at over the next few days, Jim? I know it's not pretty, and thumbs down, right?
Thumbs down, yeah, thumbs down. Hey, I'm all for a white Christmas, but the thing is, this is going to last days and days and days until we are able to warm things up, cut down the wind. So once that snow is hard and compacted, as mentioned earlier, once you get to about 15, 20 degrees, road salt does work, but it's not cost effective. So no road crew is going to be using it. So to get that off, you got to get Mother Nature to help out along with the sun. You don't necessarily need temperatures above freezing. You just need the direct sunlight to help you out and some friction from tires. Hey, look at that. 32 Champaign, Watseka, Danville, 20s most elsewhere. Cloud cover expanding. But we're not getting wet just yet. We got to wait until later tomorrow night and during the course of Thursday. That's the big storm system. Combo, areas of low pressure. This one's going to be the parent storm system. The western feature transfers its energy to the big sky country, follows the path of least resistance along the length of our stationary front, and the depth of cold air, that's already there. We'll take a look at that in a little bit. But you also have that moisture plume coming on in from another storm system out over the Pacific Ocean. So there's that Arctic cold front. Oh man, 4 degrees in Des Moines. But you know what? It's that close, but it's actually not coming here tonight or during the course of tomorrow or tomorrow night. It waits until Thursday. So even though we have a northeast wind now, it shifts out of the southeast tomorrow morning, keeping that front nearly stationary just off to our north and west. Once that wind shifts again, all that comes flooding on in. And that's what's going to be able to change that mixed precipitation over to all snow. No problems 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Well, it's a cloud storm. Well after midnight tomorrow night, technically Thursday morning, we'll see a couple light rain snow showers developing, okay? But as the depth of cold air moves in, after a morning high of 34, temperatures fall dramatically. By sunset, most of us will be down in the teens. So that fast does a couple things. Produces a flash freeze. So there's your black ice. So I would highly suspect that there will be road salt down to prevent that flash freeze initially, but then it's going to get too cold where you can't use it, and you're going to have to plow or shovel. So timestamp at 2 o'clock, look at that. All snow, but it's going to be a quick ending feature. There's 7 o'clock. It's pretty much already done along that I-55 corridor and points westbound. And by 11 o'clock, it's east of Interstate 57 and moving away. So this is a fast-moving storm system. In terms of the accumulation, that's what's going to help hold it down. To get a few inches, though, it's going to be that high ratio. Can't make a snowball out of it type of snowfall, okay? But it's great for sleigh riding if you want to head out and about. There's 2 storm systems, though, on our Roto-Rooter precip cast. Sandwiched in between, we still have issues because of blowing and drifting. So the storm accumulation is done Thursday evening, but all night Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday, blowing and drifting. 3 to 6 inches is my updated map. I still think the highest amounts will be east and northeast, least off to the west. But again, prolonged event right on into Saturday. So if you're traveling at any stage of the game, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, even Christmas morning, rough, tough go, indeed. Here's what you want to dress for. So Thursday, as I mentioned, is that transition. Notice toward the Indiana border how it's shaping up, and then back to the west. And then that depth of cold air Thursday evening, that gets even worse. These are the lowest, or the coldest, feels like temperatures that we're going to have to contend with. That is dangerously cold. So plan accordingly as to when you will get out and shovel, because if you live in an area where the snow drifts back over your driveway, you're going to have to do it multiple times. So again, A-OK tomorrow for the winter solstice, then that accumulating snow with the flash freeze, leftover flurries Friday, but it's the wind and the cold that's a problem Friday and Saturday. Christmas morning, tell Santa you want a pair of shades. It's bright outside, and with the sun reflecting off that fresh snowpack, woo! That's rough, tough stuff right there. Small accumulation Christmas night into Monday. We're going to warm things up dramatically next week. So when we get that next storm system for New Year's Day, it's a rainstorm, which will eat away all this snow, Dawn.
A scary situation turns into one man being hailed a hero. What happened on the job that caused a garbage man to save a life? We'll be right back.
An alert garbage man saves the life of a homeless man who was sleeping in a dumpster and is caught on video. Security video from a business in Huntsville, Alabama. Let's watch. Shows a waste truck driver making a typical run to an empty dumpster. But when the driver looked at his camera, he noticed a man scrambling out of the truck. The driver quickly stopped the compactor, which would have crushed the sleeping man to death.
The big red guy made a stop at the Cincinnati Zoo before heading back to the North Pole. Earlier today, Santa visited the hippos, including Fiona and her baby Fritz, along with the zoo's elephant's red panda and porcupine. Of course, he gave them each an early Christmas present since they're on Santa's nice list. Massive crowds turned out in Buenos Aires, Argentina today to celebrate their team's World Cup win. Led by soccer great Lionel Messi, Argentina won the cup in penalties after the match was tied 3-3 at the end of regulation. The streets were packed with fans as they danced and chanted for hours, waiting for the chance to see their favorite players holding the World Cup trophy. Mark?
Yeah, and a fun fact about that, they estimated about 4 million people were in the streets of Argentina. That is wild. Well, make sure you stick around for sports, everyone. As Illini head coach Brett Bielema has signed a new contract to stay in Champaign. Hear how much Illinois will pay him and how long he's extended for. Those answers and more after the break.
Damage caused by rain, a backed up drain, or broken plumbing?
Hey everyone, glad you're here for sports. National Signing Day is tomorrow, but the Illini may have had their biggest one today. Brett Bielema, that's right. This morning it was announced that he's staying in Champaign after signing a new 6-year contract with Illinois. Under the new terms, Bielema's salary will be $6 million annually. He's been at the center of an incredible turnaround that saw Illinois going from 2-6 in 2020 to 2 years later finishing the regular season 8-4. The university's Board of Trustees will consider the extension on January 26th. Well, staying with Illini football, where Devin Witherspoon is receiving national recognition. He's been named a consensus All-American and becomes just the 21st player in Illinois football history to receive this honor. This comes after Witherspoon led the nation in reception percentage against and forced incompletions. Witherspoon decided to not play in the bowl game and declare for the NFL draft, but is beyond honored that he'll have a plaque in Grange Grove, and his jersey will hang up forever at the Smith Center.
Just a chance to be remembered forever here at this place. That right there just holds so much weight on my heart, and I just thank God for that. So it just means a lot to me, and I don't know, man. It's just a surreal feeling, man. Like I said, I haven't a chance to soak it all up yet, bro. But it's just a wonderful feeling to know that I will be remembered forever in this place. So I just thank God.
WAND's Play of the Day is presented by Menards.
The Illini men's basketball team will get a boost. 6'10" recruit Zachary Perrain from France will be joining the program immediately. Perrain was named MVP of the Adidas Next Generation qualifying tournament in Greece, while averaging 17.7 points and 10.7 rebounds per game. Now to Meridian Holiday Express Tournament Championship between Warrensburg Latham and Mount Pulaski. Alexis Wade drives to the bucket and gets the tough finish to go. Cards flying in transition now. Lindley Southern hits Brenna Dutcher in the corner. That three is pure. The Toppers would answer. Grace Davis backing down the defender, going up strong and getting it to go as Mount Pulaski takes down Warrensburg Latham 59-43. Now to boys basketball. Eisenhower hosting Champaign Central tonight. The Panthers up in the second half, and they add to it. Jack Green going to dish it off to Jay-Sean Creason. He lays it up and lays it in. The Maroons wouldn't back down. Chris Bush with the one dribble pull up. He knocks down the mid-range jumper. Eisenhower would answer right back. They find Tyshawn Clemens. His triple try is through. The Panthers would keep rolling. It's Sincere Jackson. Big time finish inside for the and one as Eisenhower gets the win 52-36. Now we head to North Clay, where their baseball team received their rings for winning the 1A state baseball championship last spring. This was the Cardinals' first state championship in program history. Now the action. Shout out Rep King Media for the highlights. North Clay going to kick it outside to Logan Fleener. His three is pure. He had 25 points on the night. The Cardinals would continue to soar. Look at the pass from Fleener to Levi Smith for the bucket as North Clay gets the win 78-63. Well, that's it for sports. Here's meteorologist Jim Kosick with another look at that forecast.
After a cloudy start tomorrow, we'll have glimmers of sunshine to get into the winter solstice. 3:48 specifically if you're holding any winter party. And then for the first full day of winter, we have that storm system. Oh, and the depth of cold air shortly thereafter. We just saw accumulations 3 to 6.
Okay. Thank you.
Update tonight. Thanks so much for being with us.
Good night. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.